This evening, ruling coalition government playing it cautious regarding the newfound oil wealth in Guyana. Words of Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu. The Central Housing and Planning Authority's two-day national forum got underway today, and the major focus will be placed on stakeholders. Drama over the weekend as the canal between GTT and Digicel telecommunications entities broadens. More oil news and Guyana's preparedness for the anticipated boom from Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman. In the region, Day of Resistance call from the Public Service Association against the PNM government in Trinidad and Tobago. And internationally, former MSNBC host shares his opinion on why US President Donald Trump will break everything all by himself.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Ramble Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with Basil Bradshaw.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel as well as our website safetvguyana.com. Join us. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu today said that the governing APNU-AFC coalition remains cautious and does not intend to look at the potential wealth with arrogance where the newfound discovery of oil in Guyana is concerned. The Prime Minister was speaking at the Marriott Hotel at an event organized by the Guyana Oil and Gas Association Incorporated. Andrew Weeks opens our account this evening.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu told the attendees of the Oil and Gas Conference that Guyana need to hold government accountable should they be caught in the web of the resources curse, especially when it comes to declaration of assets.
And so, while we can understand there would be resistance by persons in public offices, including ministers and members of parliament, and including the president and the prime minister, there could be some level of resistance to the declaration of assets to avoid anyone in governance slipping through the back door, side agreements and side benefits that result in unjust enrichment and perhaps disproportionate wealth. We have to push through with this agenda to ensure that there is public accountability, and the government ought to be able to set the example.
Mr. Nagamutu also stated that the proceeds will also go into the Serving Wealth Fund to help the future generation in health, education and infrastructure, etc. As for those who think they can use the people's resources for votes, Nagamutu said,
and not just be accessed willy-nilly as opportunities present themselves by governments that only think not about the future but to think about the next elections. I read many years ago that I'm told that a politician looks at the next elections, but a statesman looks at the next generation. And so we like our resources to be able to spread into the future and not just be gobbled up by any administration that would feel that the resources could be deployed or the proceeds from the industry could be deployed for short-term gains of buying votes. It must not transform into votes, it must transform into a viable future.
The oil and gas sector is just as important as any sector. Nagamutu added, as he pointed out, the importance of ensuring that other sectors, such as agriculture, is integrated into the oil and gas sector.
Particularly the sector that would provide social benefits by way of job opportunities, by way of sustainable livelihood. And I'm conscious that while we speak about local content in oil and gas, I'm very, very conscious that the industry itself will be unable to provide employment at the level that would cater for
The Prime Minister also went on to state that already a draft petroleum legislation is in place and other documents are being drafted to ensure the legal protection of Guyana's resources. The Guyana Oil and Gas Association, Inc. was formed to promote and protect strong, competitive and capable independent oil and gas industry. It also aims to promote an oil and gas industry and to advocate for comprehensive science-based policies and effective, transparent market principles for the benefit of all Guyanese. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thank you, Andrew. Today marks the first day of the Central Housing and Planning Authority's National Planning Forum. The two-day conference will discuss the role of the CHNPA and how best to collaborate with the relevant stakeholders. George Gonzalez was there and filed this report.
The responsibilities of the Central Housing and Planning Authority are often misunderstood. As Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Valerie Adams Patterson pointed out, the responsibilities of the CHNPA goes beyond just providing housing for citizens. The authority is entrusted with the planning of new housing schemes and the development of existing settlements. This means that the CHNPA has the enormous task of ensuring all communities throughout the nation receive proper roads, utilities, and civic services.
And let me just say here, in all the schemes that we have built and are building, we stand the expenses for all the works, and we do all the works for electricity, infrastructure, water, and everything. CHNPA does it.
The forum will also address one of the major challenges faced by the CHNPA. That challenge is dealing with squatting. In as many cases as possible, the Ministry of Communities would like to regularize squatters' house lots. Nonetheless, Minister Adams Patterson acknowledges the unenviable position her ministry is in. Regularization is not an option for many squatters in the capital. This is due to the hazardous conditions that these squatting areas often create for other citizens.
We have to relocate some people. Have to. And when you look at areas like Sophia and East and West, we have to relocate those people that are living along the canals and so on. Right now, Ministry of Public Infrastructure cannot go in there to do any cleaning of those canals. There's no space, not even for the boom of the equipment or the machinery to do any cleaning. Should we regularize, then we are culpable. And I don't want to be a part of that.
Minister Adams Patterson recognizes that the regularization and planning of settlements is a task that the ministry cannot do alone. It will require collaboration with local government bodies. To assist in this venture, the minister announced the creation of a projects oversight committee. The committee, headed by the minister herself, will oversee the proper placement as well as management of infrastructure and essential services to new housing schemes.
We have a rep from Public Infrastructure, Ministry of Business, GWI, and so we're working in collaboration. What we don't want is that we go and put a scheme down and then the people can't get water because there's no water source, or we have no road links and all that. So we recognize by collaborating, we're going to do the thing right and do the right thing. There's a difference.
Thanks, George. There was some drama over the weekend as GTT accused Digicel of operating an illegal data and voice transfer link between Guyana and Suriname. GTT claims exclusive rights to international communications originating in Guyana. As such, they called upon Digicel to pay almost $30 million in unpaid taxes and fees for the 2 years the unlicensed transborder link has been in operation. On Saturday, the Ministry of Public Telecommunications expressed reluctance in severing Digicel's Guyana-Suriname telecommunications link, citing an uncertainty of GTT's ability to fill in the possible service gap. The ministry said, quote, "This has proven to be a complex matter exacerbated by demands of the market for adequate voice and data services. Among the issues to be considered are whether GTT has sufficient data capacity to meet the needs of the market and the degree of congestion of its network. GTT has been invited to submit relevant information and data to clearly demonstrate that they have the network capacity to ensure that the people for Guyana will not be adversely affected by discontinuance of the Digicel link to Suriname. Finally, on Sunday evening, Digicel strongly rebuked GTT claims of illegal behavior. It is the company's belief that GTT is attempting to deflect from the material issues that have now been brought to bear upon the company by the onset of liberalization of the telecommunications sector. For years, Digicel has had many legal battles with GTT. One such matter is the constitutional motion filed by Digicel against GTT, in which Digicel challenges the fundamental legality of GTT's monopoly. It is Digicel's view that only when the court has ruled on these fundamental legal principles can any determination be made in relation to legality. Coming up on Headline News after the break, Upper Mazaruni Adventists thrilled President Granger with their impressive singing, and Minister Trotman's update on his ministry's action since the ExxonMobil oil discovery.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Come on down to Clearance for the big March Madness sale. Ladies, enjoy 25 to 70% off jeans, tops, skirts, and even sexy short dresses. In addition to that, enjoy crazy discounts on ladies' designer handbags and shoes. And the craziness continues in the gents department with up to 70% off Kenneco shoes and shirts. I'm talking half off Nike sneakers along with Levi's jeans, and up to 70% off short pants and jerseys. Now remember, the madness happens on the 31st of March at Clearance, the place to be for the big sale. Always keeping you in style.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
Let's get it on. Total U Plus is introducing the bridal collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection. Fraggity's Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts. See floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
They came as far as Parima in the Upper Mazaruni to celebrate with their fellow believers the 130th anniversary of Adventism in Guyana. What they did not know, however, was that they would have gotten the opportunity to visit the head of state. Their gift to the president was their lusty singing. Let's hear more from Andrew Weeks.
The group in numbers of over 30 are primary school students who are a part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Parima, village of Region 7. When they arrived in Georgetown on the morning of March 16th, they paid a visit to the youth director's office, Pastor Marvin Smith, in the evening at the SD headquarters at Peter Rose and Landscape Streets, and wowed him with their singing in their native Aracuna language. The Maranatha volunteers also got a taste of their heavenly singing. Then, the Sunday, they made their first major appearance at the National Exhibition Complex of Fire when they sang for the members of the Adventist body at the opening ceremony of the church's 130th anniversary. They sang the song Jerusalem in their native Aracuna language as well. The Tuesday of the third week, the primary school students had an educational tour in the city. They also paid a visit to the president of Guyana, Mr. David Granger. And with their singing, the president was in awe. The students were given a guided tour of the head of state's official place of residence, after which the president presented them with commemorative buttons with the inception of every child in school, and especially designed exercise book and pens, something they would cherish for the rest of their lives. But their music always touches that spiritual side you never knew you had. Andrew, Channel 2, headline.
Thanks again, Andrew. Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman spoke at yesterday's Guyana Oil and Gas Association's Oil and Gas 2017 exposition. Minister Trotman updated attendees on the ministry's actions since ExxonMobil's oil discovery. George Gonzalez reports that Minister Trotman's address bodes well for the nation's young petroleum industry.
The oil and gas sector in Guyana is still in its infancy. With this in mind, Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman lauded this week's Petroleum Expo, recognizing the pivotal role petroleum can have in turning the nation's economy around. Minister Trotman charged attendees to strive to collaborate effectively to develop this industry.
And within our society, there are as many cynics as there are optimists. We are reminded as well to be inclusive in our decision making and to be decisive and not to lose the initiative that presents itself now, as the opportunities can evaporate as quickly as do vapors of gas. Whatever we do, we must do together.
Building Guyana's petroleum industry from scratch requires a legal framework that is unfamiliar to Guyana's lawmakers. As such, Guyana has consulted with many experts within the field since the discovery was announced.
We dubbed 2016 as the year for preparation, and we have dubbed 2017 the year for implementation. We have forged partnerships where none existed before with Chatham House, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the new Petroleum Producers Discussion Group, and with the Mexican government's Petroleum Institute. And we have strengthened relationships with the United Nations Development Fund, the World Bank, the Commonwealth Secretariat, and the U.S. Department of State. In particular, the Mexican Petroleum Institute will provide 3 white papers for us to strengthen the framework for a stronger industry.
The biggest announcement from Minister Trotman was the possibility of major infrastructural investments, including the creation of an oil refinery in Berbice.
Further, we are considering a proposal from one of the world's leading offshore companies to establish a world-class base at Crab Island, Berbice, and are examining the possibility of utilizing some of the available natural gas from the Liza field for energy generation as we transition to renewables. Lastly, we are addressing in advance the viability of a refinery or refineries in Guyana.
The building of an oil refinery means that Guyana will be able to engage in domestic production of refined petroleum. This is more profitable than crude oil, as it then allows for the creation of many petroleum-based products. Additionally, the availability of local refined petroleum may mean relief at the pump for most Guyanese, as Guyana currently imports all of its oil. The Oil and Gas 2017 exposition is from March 26th to the 28th at the Marriott Hotel in Georgetown.
We heard you, George. According to a GINA report, Guyana's 7-year non-communicable diseases strategic plan needs a judicious mixture of partnerships and prioritization and sound implementation. The 2013-2020 National NCD Blueprint for the Health Sector, called the Integrated Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases in Guyana, is modeled after existing best practices from regional, hemispheric, and global approaches. When she met today with Dr. Karen Cummings, Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Beverly Barnett, consultant to PAHO WHO, said her visit is part of a wider initiative to undertake a qualitative analysis of the NCD strategies of 4 CARICOM states. Guyana is the first country to be visited by Dr. Barnett under the regional plan. She's also scheduled to hold similar discussions with Barbados, Jamaica, and St. Kitts Nevis. Today's talks were part of a deeper analysis with Dr. Cummings, who was to elicit her perspective on Guyana's NCD multi-sectoral plan, Barnett said. Use of tobacco, lack of physical activities, unhealthy diet, and abusing alcohol increase the risk of NCDs, which disproportionately affect low and middle-income countries. Global statistics show that some 75% of all deaths from NCDs occur in low and middle-income countries. And that's why Barnett's visit is so timely, since Guyana has reached the halfway point in its program implementation. Still ahead, that call for a day of resistance against the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and a look at Trump's "I alone can fix it" rumor by a former MSNBC show host.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Come on down to Clearance for the big March Madness sale. Ladies, enjoy 25 to 70% off jeans, tops, skirts, and even sexy short dresses. In addition to that, enjoy crazy discounts on ladies' designer handbags and shoes. And the craziness continues in the gents department with up to 70% off Kenneth Cole shoes and shirts. I'm talking half off Nike sneakers along with Levi's jeans, and up to 70% off short pants and jerseys. Now remember, the madness happens on the 31st of March at Clearance, the place to be for the big sale. Always keeping you in stock.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
It's next level time, Guyana. Let's get ready for Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo coming on April 1st and 2nd, 2017 to Guyana, South America. Come enjoy the company of Joy Agnes, Destination Wedding Specialist, Mark Jennings, TV host and lifestyle expert, Jacqueline Johnson, Destination Wedding Expert, Jerry Gavaya, CEO, Roraima Group, Angie Zimmerman, Floral Expert, and Richard Markel, founder of AFWPI. Registration US $100 before March 15, thereafter US $150. Learn from the industry experts, see floral demonstrations, network at the cocktail, and benefit from educational sessions on wedding planning. Contact us for sponsorship at info@joyagnesevents.com. Love and Sunshine Destination Wedding Conference and Expo, a must for all wedding professionals. See you there.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese, and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room, and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms, and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
This is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, President of the Public Service Association, Watson Duke, is calling for a day of resistance against the PNM government of Trinidad and Tobago on April 10. C News reports.
The PSA leader says he wants members of the public to take the day to show the government they are not happy with the state of the country.
Come April the 10th, it will be a day of resistance. We are saying the day of resistance is a day when we will stand and make our disenchantment known to this monarchy called the PNM government.
The PSA president believes that there are many issues such as crime and labor that are being poorly handled by the government.
What we are saying to workers on that day, take a day off. Take a day off on that day. And those who are coming to Port of Spain, let's gather at the foot of the financial towers, the Twin Towers in Port of Spain, and let's send a strong message to the powers that be that we are concerned about the state of Trinidad and Tobago. It's very, very, very explosive.
And internationally, the truth of Trump's "I alone can fix it" canard has gotten the attention of Keith Olbermann, former MSNBC host of The Countdown, now the special correspondent for the Resistance, a GQ political show. In this commentary, which has gotten over 220,985 views globally on YouTube and counting, Mr. Olbermann will tell you why he feels Republican President Donald Trump alone will break everything.
I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. I alone can fix it. July 21st, 2016, at the Republican Convention in Cleveland, the 5 Trump words that officially proclaimed his bid to overthrow the traditional government of the United States of America and replace it with him. As I have argued here this week, you can look at the first 60-plus days of his presidency as a succession of losses and incompetence and humiliations that would have sent almost any other human being who found himself in Trump's shoes fleeing for the Cayman Islands. But one comment by one woman with the improbable name of Charla McCormick has me wondering if this chaos monger, this embarrassment, this petulant little boy refusing to shake Angela Merkel's hand, this doer of this latest stuff he did just today, this imbecile in imbecile's clothing, it has me wondering if all this is actually the plan. I alone can fix it. Charla McCormick, M-C-O-M-I-C, is the woman from Lexington, Tennessee, whom Jenna Johnson of the Washington Post found. Ms. McCormick is 52 years old. Her son lost his job, and yet his health insurance premium dropped from $567 a month to $88 a month. Quote, a blessing from God, unquote, said Ms. McCormick. A blessing from God via Donald Trump. Quoting her again, I think it was just because of the tax credit. That's the Trump-Ryan Republican plan to in part replace the Affordable Care Act with a series of tax credits. She thinks her son's insurance premium plummeted because of the Trump plan that has not even been passed by the House and the Senate, let alone become law yet. She thinks Trump did this for her. In fact, Obama did this for her. Her son's insurance premium dropped $479 a month due to Obamacare, but not in her mind. No, Trump brought her God's blessing. I alone can fix it. Do you remember that massive numbers of Iraqis, this is in the 21st century, mind you, massive numbers of Iraqis believed that Saddam Hussein wore a magical stone around his neck, or he had had one implanted in his arm that made him invulnerable to attack, and that if somehow he was killed, chaos would consume Iraq. I alone can fix it. Have you watched Turkey in the last year? A country riven with terrorism and sectarianism, coming apart at the seams, and then this lunatic bully Erdogan, who some believe either fomented a coup against his own government, which included insurgents who just happened to not shoot down the plane he was in while they were next to it, or if it wasn't a false flag, he just happened to be in position to almost immediately exploit it, to detain, arrest, or dismiss from their jobs as many as 150,000 of his own citizens, and then put the blame on a dissident living in Pennsylvania, and then put to a national vote his bid to eliminate the remnants of Turkish democracy and place all power in his own hands. I alone can fix it. I'm a Leninist, Steve Bannon reportedly told a reporter from the Daily Beast in a 2013 conversation he now claims he does not remember. Lenin wanted to destroy the state, and that's my goal too. I want to bring everything crashing down and destroy all of today's establishment. Thus, I alone can fix it would actually just be shorthand for a longer quote. I alone can fix it after so many of you never noticed that I alone broke it. Mind you, I'm not convinced of this. Most of the fascists who have popped up to seize power in this country's history have been pretty easy to analyze. The question, why in the hell are they doing this way, does not usually come with a series of multiple choice fascist answers. I'm still not convinced Trump and his cronies are not just morons who have tried to apply the simple rules that always worked for them in bully corporate ownership to the mega complexity of geopolitics. I'm still not convinced they're not all crazy. I'm still not convinced they're not all stoned. They sure act stoned. But what if this is the plan? Claim the British tapped his phones, threaten North Korea and China, insult the German chancellor, try to bring her into his own paranoid wiretapping hoax, quote a bozo from Fox about it, turn around and throw the bozo from Fox under the bus, blame the rest of the news media for painting the Merkel meeting as bad, and himself paint Merkel as some kind of deadbeat, and all of that in a span of just 24 hours. What would all that mean to Ms. Charla God's Blessing McCormick of Lexington, Tennessee? Why, it would mean her president is under attack by the British, by the Germans, by the North Koreans, by the Chinese, by Obama, by fake news, by Fox News, by the judges, by the Democrats, by the paid protesters, by the Muslims, by the Hispanics, by the non-Christians. I alone can fix it.
And that's Channel 2's headline news for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 headline news on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeTVGuyana.com. You can also tune in at 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast. Until then, I'm Basil Bradshaw, signing out from this newscast.